Worse than rock! I think worse than rot!
You're going to regret this!
Enemy at your back!
Worse than rot! I think worse than rot!
Protect your back.
For our freedom!
Worse than rot! I think worse than rot! I think worse than rot!
On your left!
Worse than rot! Worse than rot! Worse than rot! I think worse than rot! Worse than rot! I think worse than rot!
Wodeca demands your submission. Stand against her,
and fall!
Let's pay Ludwig one final visit, shall we? She could use some payback.
There
Not
you
over
are.
there, don't you think? Let's make sure she stays.
Envoy. So, you survived the garden. I wasn't sure you'd make it out alive. You surprised me yet again. What a shame to kill you now after everything we've seen together. Don't be so naive. Don't make this more painful than it has to be. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Oh, but it is. Some wounds must be cauterized in order to heal. The only question is, what's to be done with you? You, who were once so bright and promising.
Her mind is already made up. She's just toying with us.
Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
All this time, I knew you'd be worthy prey. Don't let me down. Farewell, Envoy.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of play!
Worse than rot!
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Come on! Let's kill her already! One last time!
Wodika! Queen among queens! Send me your aid!
Even Wodika is done with you, Ludwig.
Worse than wrong!
Look out! Behind you! Your days are numbered.
Worse than rot! Worse than rot!
Watch your right!
At the
worse than wrong! Grow up and... worse than wrong!
Another soul for the weak.
Worse than rot! Worse than rot! Okay, help me! One last time! Worse than wrong! Worse than rot! Worse than rot!
On your left, dear.
It hurts!
Worse than wrong! No! Don't abandon me now!
What is the done with her? Get her now!
Man! Worse than rot! Worse than rot!
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for. But we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together. Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. The Living Lands is now a colony of the Adiran Empire. New governments replace the old, and imperial law reigns over the frontier. An age of order and discipline is just over the horizon. The rebels of Paradise come to learn that resistance is futile. After the assassin Egwolf died in custody, many of his worst fears about the Empire are confirmed. Some of his people splinter off, while others abandon the fight entirely. Their alliance is never the same. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. The people of Shatterscarp find themselves caught between two sides, with Adirans keeping rule over the colony and Dream Thralls still stalking the hills. Despite the steady flow of Adiran goods, some Thirdborners leave the city, trusting their chances with monsters more than those with an empire. The ones who remain watch with wariness and patience, waiting to see if Adir might let down its guard. For a brief but hopeful moment, Solace Keep opens the fortress doors to the new rulers of the Living Lands, allowing Adirans to come and go as they please. But the peace does not hold. Lacking patience for the Empire's unyielding demands, Mihala shuts the doors once again, issuing a warning. Those who trespass in Solace Keep will not leave alive. The Adirans waste no time gathering their forces, for an example must be made. When Kai returns to Thirdborn, he's no longer running. He finds a town that's been diminished by struggle, conflict, and tragedy. He finds home. He helps repair Thirdborn's walls and train its defenders, carrying on Tama's legacy. And while his labors do not restore all that was lost, they build something new. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradise and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada learned much in your time together. How to stand up to authority, how to face the unknown, and how to move on from the past. But her family's unfinished work weighs heavily on her soul. Her inheritance is the burden of achieving the impossible. Such is the life of an animancer. At least now she has the right tools for the job, and new friends to help her through hard times. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yatsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Messiverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yatsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless. The restlessness never goes away. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sopadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sopadal has questions about what happens tomorrow, and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm, until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.